Welcome back, and here we have an improved base from the previous video. I took a lot of your comments into consideration, I've done some more testing, I've seen what does work, what doesn't work, and I've improved this base to be as good as it can be. But here's the thing, you can build this by day 7. Not exactly this one, of course, you're not going to have steel on day 7, but this video is to show you that you can build a base on day 7 and you can keep improving that same base all the way up until endgame rather than destroying and starting again. This base I literally built for day 7 and ended up here for endgame. Let's get into it. So I like to kind of blueprint out where the front of my base would be because I've made the mistake. Damn it, woman, I'm recording. That wasn't a woman. Anyway. Here is where I want my stairs to end up. So I'm just gonna, with normal blocks, kind of pre-build my stairs. Fighting position here, 7 blocks across. And that gives it a nice even middle point. As for going back, I think I'm just gonna do 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's essentially gonna be your base, yeah? You're gonna have this as a full square, and then this is gonna be your logic running up to where your actual base is. Okay, there's our base. Nice. Next up, I'm going to type in CAD. Yeah, I don't know why there's a capital D. Apparently I just love the D. Anyway, type in CAD, and then you want this here. Tile 1. Now we're going to put this bad boy onto advanced, and we're going to place it down. But I want it the other way down, so it's running across and not straight. That's it. Now you're just going to place one of these down on every block that you've got here. Like so. Nice. Now you're going to put one on top, like so, and you can do the same for every position like we just did. Boom, there we go. Now you're going to do one more layer in these. Lovely. I'll explain later why this is important, but this is quite crucial. Now you're going to do solid blocks for the next layer. It's worth mentioning that obviously building blocks are going to be your best friend for building, to get up and do this, yeah? Perfect, there you go. So we are at what? 1, 2, 4. We're at 4 high. Maybe 4 can work. I normally go 5 high. This will save on so many materials as well. Yeah, we're going to go 4 high. I was planning to do 5 because I always do for endgame bases, but this will be more beginner friendly for the start of the game. So this is going to be where we stand and fight, right? We want scaffold ladders to be on advanced, and we want to be able to put them like this. This is the way I have them running sideways. So I'm going to do one here, one here, one here, one here. And I'm just going to use a solid block there for the front of the fighting position. That's too high for them to get at. Okay, let me just pick these up. Now we know the measurement. We don't really need them in our way. So today's tip comes from Asylum Mods. Always carry wooden traps to place and slow zombies. If concerned, shoot out the floor to fall through. Don't eat yellow snow. This is actually a really good one. I do this all the time, and it probably applies mainly to harder difficulties. Whenever I'm playing insane, you need traps, let me tell you. It gets a bit wild. This can also help beginners on easier difficulties if it's too hard for you. You can run in, get their attention, throw some traps down. Not only does the traps damage them, but it also slows them. So you can just beef away at their skull. These are essential. Honestly, I use them on every single playthrough. They are so good. If you're in a POI, you're deep into the house, there's no real easy way to get out. You just place traps. They will buy you time. They will help you kill whatever you need to kill. Thanks for that one, Asylum Mods. Comment your tips below or join the Discord and I will throw it in a future video. Back to the build. Okay, so let me just explain what's actually going on here. So we know that we are 4 high, right? We're 4 high. We know that they can only hit 3 high. So that top one's irrelevant. Anything here, they cannot hit. Unless they're coming along the beam here to fight, they fall down. And as they fall down, they swing and maybe hit it, you know, whatever. It's just so unlikely. So, if you see my last video, all of this was filled in, so it looked like this here, all the way through here. Now that was great, but the problem is, after a bit more testing, they were coming in here, and then they were attacking upwards, right? But what they were doing was, they weren't attacking, you know, this block, for example. they're attacking the next block, which is fine, but if you've got this all filled in like you have here, you don't know what's broken in here, right? They're literally just breaking blocks all over the place, and you have no idea. So, this system allows you to look after a Horde Night and be like, okay, they broke that block, you know, they broke that block, they broke that block. You can see the damage, which is fantastic. That's such a good system. And also, what makes this so good is that you can repair it, right? So, as long as you've got the blocks, which you will have, right, you can just repair it. See, you can reach them. Now, if you put building blocks down, if it's like right in the middle or something, you can easily reach wherever. So if I break, I don't know, if I break that, I can reach it. If I break one like all the way over there, are we going to be able to get that? Duck down, and we can. You can literally repair anywhere. It's so, so good. Whereas if this was a solid block, you can't repair any of them missing blocks in the middle. You're not going to know until the base collapses, right? So that's why we have this. Right, back to fighting position. So we're going to place these on top of these ladders. So these ladders are just really here so we have a support for the blocks to actually go on. We're just going to connect this here. So that's going to be essentially the front of our base. Obviously, we know what we're doing with our fighting position. It's just going to be the same as always. 1, 2, 3, 3 high. So you want to go 4. The fighting position is going to be 3 high, and I'll explain why in a moment. Just going to build the walls round. You only need to go 2 high for your first Horde Night. Nothing's going to be honest, you don't even need to do the back. Like, they're just not going to do anything. But we will do the back anyway. I'm going to leave a space in the middle for how we're going to get in, and I'll show you how we do that when it comes to it. Before we move on, I just want to do this front line with a block. Let's now grab the scaffold ladder. Let's do our actual logic at the front. So we want this to be one there, one there. We want one glued this side as well, so it's doubled up. As for the top, I always use bars because they just seem to work really well. It stops them climbing the scaffold ladders for the most part. You get the odd one that cheats their way up, but if you've got this here like this, for some reason it just like stops them climbing. I don't know why, but it works, so why not? As for the top, I'm going to use these bad boys. So if any of them do end up climbing or whatever, they'll hit this ramp, and then as they keep going up, the ramp will push them out, push them out, and then they'll just fall down. It's probably worth just building this out at the front, just so they can't, like, get around anyway. Maybe do that. You're going to want half block. I always do this, you know I do. It works. There's no reason to not use it. Until they patch it, I'm just going to keep using it. There we go, to maximise the distance in the middle. They run along, they fall down if they're slow. Not too many can build up here, they'll just fall down. We then want to type in thin and use pipe thin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like we said. Nice. I'm a bit concerned that that's going to break when I remove this. So I'm just going to put a support underneath so I can remove this one. There we go. Then we want a solid block there, like that. Then we're just going to replace these with the actual blocks. There we go. Now we're going to replace all of this in actual wood. Or you can just upgrade the ones that are there, I guess. I guess you can just do that. There we go. Lovely stuff. To finish this off, we need some stairs. Get rid of that, get rid of them. There we go. Let's put this on to simple. Bang some stairs in. Alright, there we go. Now, you can build this before Horde Night, like the first Horde Night, day 7. I've done this. I've built something far bigger than this. You can definitely do it. This isn't, although it looks like a lot of wood, it's just wood, yeah? You can get wood everywhere. You can actually also get loads of cobblestone before night 7. So it'd only be fair to actually... Oh, god damn it. As I was saying, it would only be fair to actually upgrade this a little bit in cobble, because that's what you're going to want to be doing. You can go to the traders and they sell like 200-300 of it. You know, and you'll find 2 or 3 traders before night 7. You can make cobble through just 1 clay and 1 stone. So it's only fair that we upgrade this a little bit, because you would do. It only costs 10 cobble to upgrade 1 wood block, which is nothing, right? I'm just going to upgrade the bits that matter. So fighting position needs to be cobble. I'm going to cobble up all of this. We're going to cobble up this. We're going to cobble everything that they're touching, because that's important. That's about all we need for that. Just going to cobble the one this is attached to in here, so it's secure. We might as well cobble the top, so they can't break that. And that's about all you need to do. Don't need these anymore. We can get rid of these. You'll get so much more cobble than this. You'll be able to upgrade so much more than this. If for whatever reason, maybe you got busy with missions or you've died a lot, whatever, and you don't build this for night 7, then just do the normal, hide on a roof, live out the night, and you'll definitely have this done by night 14. It'll be superior to this by night 14, or it should be. I'm just going to leave it as this. I should probably upgrade more, because it would only be, like, I would upgrade these. Any leftover cobble, I would try and get all the way around like this, and go all the way around the outside. Because for this to collapse, you need to almost get rid of all of these. There was only like 1 row left when I tested it and it finally collapsed. Like, they're just not going to do that much damage. But they work hand in hand. You need to obviously do the top layer as well. If they took all that layer out, you'd be screwed. So you want to upgrade a little bit just here as well, so you've got somewhat of resistance. This is all I'm going to do. I think that's a fair amount. Like, what is that? So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about 25-ish between there and the fighting position. Another maybe 25 amongst that. So let's call it 50 cobblestone blocks in total. I don't think it's that much. I think I've exaggerated that. But either way, cobblestone blocks, 50 of them is only 500 cobble. So to get in, we're just going to put a ladder at the back. You're going to chuck a pick-upable block, and then you're just going to jump, and then pick it up. I know it's a faff, but you only got to do it once every 7 days, right? It's not a big deal. Okay, let's get into a Horde Night. The first Horde Night, and see what happens. Okay, 2150. Game stage is at 50. We're level 36. That's probably about right, I guess. I've gone 5 points into perception, and I've got spear on level 3, and I've got the quick for it on level 2. So let's see what happens. I think this game stage is a little high for where we are, to be honest. I've got it on insane as well, so this is like quite tough. They're kicking my ass, as you can see. Stamina is not good. I've only put points into the spear. I haven't done anything else. I've got no armor on or anything. In an ideal world, you'll have cobble on you so you can repair these front walls. I'm not going to do that because I want to stress it all the way through and see what happens. It's worth turning off auto aim, because every time I attack it's like locking automatically, and sometimes I hit my own wall. I absolutely hate auto aim. I should have turned it off. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. I just forgot until we started. I probably shouldn't have done this on insane, but it's good for the test, right? If we can do it on insane, we can do it on anything. But this auto aim is driving me insane every time I try to hit them. So I'm using controller, so I've come to controller settings, aim assist. No, you don't want any aim assist. So now when I'm hitting, it's not like jolt turning like you probably would have seen in the footage before. Every time I tried to hit, it was jolt turning me and making me hit my own bloody wall. Now we're all good. Hey, Horde Night done. My god, this was tough. I really wasn't prepared for this. I should have gave myself a bit more equipment. Killing these last 2 is the longest process of this entire thing. I could just jump down and kill him, but I don't want to ruin the surprise of how much damage they've done. I have had enough of this. There we go. Okay. Back to God mode. Heal up. Ooh, that feels good. Let's look underneath first. That's the most important, right? Okay, so one there missing, one there missing. They did a little bit to this. Rest of them, to be honest, look completely fine. They take any... Oh, okay, so they took out one, two, they took out three here. And that's it. Oh, that's actually done way better than I thought it would. They did more damage to the front of the base, to be honest. They took out the first scaffold ladder and got the second halfway. We still had two up here, and that's all fine. And these are all good too. Now, this was on insane, and that's why it was a bit stretched, I think. It felt very difficult. I wasn't really prepared enough with equipment. As you can see, I got through 3 spears. But whatever. Horde Night 1 complete. Or if you're struggling to make it in time, Horde Night 2. Yeah, stage 2 should look something like this. So you've cobbled all of the bottom, you've cobbled the middle layer, then you've just cobbled out anything else that you can on the front, as well as fully doing the stairs. You've even added on a roof. I've gone with bars, so you can shoot, you know, anything bird-wise coming through at you. I've just done straight beam, straight down the middle, and then done some blocks and whatnot. You can do the roof however you want. And this is the absolute beauty of this system. You can just come in and upgrade all the internal blocks below you and above you. Do you know how good that is? If that was a solid base, you'd never be able to do that. You can only upgrade your outer layer blocks. You know, when they break that, they're probably going to be attacking wood. This system is so good for progression. Yeah, you can start these bases from the start of the game, and it can be the same base, but at the end of the game. As you come into stage 3, you're going to be cobblestoning so much more, and you'll start dabbling in the area of concrete. Now, this can happen quite early, because you can buy a concrete mix from the traders every now and then you prioritize fighting position. Every time you get a new material block, prioritize this here first. Then you want to prioritize the beam, because they're walking on it. Then you want to start doing bits like this. I've just gone around the outside, and this middle's still concrete. Now, obviously, you want to do the exact same for the top, the outside, because without one or the other, it collapses, yeah? So I've gone on the outside. As you come into stage 4, most things will be cement. You have the odd bit of cobble dotting about still. Everything should realistically be cement. And you'll be dabbling in a little bit of this steel on your main fighting position and whatnot. You'll want to start upgrading this to steel. So, I'm going to knock out all of these. Perfect. It does work. Okay, that's good stuff. I'm just going to replace these front ones with solid blocks. Now, the reason I do this is because at some point soon, you will start getting them crawlers that jump, and you'll get the odd ones that will jump and probably land in this gap. They won't do much, but it'll just be annoying. Whereas if you've got this front barrier, they can't do that. They can only do it from the sides, and that's just extremely unlikely. Now, they might rage hit a couple of these throughout the night, but that's what they're doing anyway. They're only rage hitting this stuff under here. So you'll just repair it the next day. You don't have to do this. I just think it's probably going to be annoying if jumpers get in here in this void, but that's up for you. While you're playing, you'll experience this happening, and then you'll know whether it's worth changing to this system or not. I would, but it's up to you. And then stage 5 should just be absolutely stealing as much as you can. Maybe even more than what I have here. All these bits, whatever you can. Still got some cobble there. Important thing is to obviously make sure this down here is all steel, if not the odd bits cement, as well as this upper layer, and then most importantly this layer here, because if this layer is weaker than this is the third block, so they'll be hitting through this layer to break these ones. You want to make sure that you're always, every stage you're going through, you're upgrading this layer under here. This has given you a bit of insight onto making one base from the start of the game and keeping it all the way to the end. This base works fantastically well. You can also put another one of these gaps here to double up the drop rate. I'm sure there's some bits and pieces you can come up with to make it your own, but this is a bit of a standard setup. You will eventually go into making these stairs much bigger as well. Obviously, we didn't in this video, but I've covered this so many times in all of my videos. Yeah, something like this. If you need a tutorial on how to do this, I pretty much cover it in every video that I've done. I pretty much go into detail with most of my videos on how to do stairs. The video before this one, I do a proper in-depth talk about how to build it properly, so just go check that out. I actually had a recommendation to use ladders on this as well. Now, I've never done this, but apparently, if you put ladders all here, it stops them rage hitting these blank bits because then they climb up the ladders. I don't know how you would do this. Would you have one like that and like that? Would you go above the stair? Or would you not? I'm not really sure. So maybe experiment with that. But apparently it helps and it makes sense. You could probably get rid of these tail bits and replace it with a ladder. Yeah? I suppose. Do something like that maybe. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. A lot of effort goes into these. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Oh, we're so close to 1,000. We might even be at 1,000 when I release this. Thank you so much, guys. Until the next one.